Welcome back again, Cave Maniacs. It's a wonderful Saturday, and I got an episode today. It's another panel, but it's a little special from the Oklahoma City Horror Con. This lady was amazing to have on the panel. I really enjoyed it. We had to cut the live because of the writer's strike. She may or may not have said some things that were a little on the gray, so we just wanted to take a little step of precaution and get that down, so couldn't nobody use it against her because we love this lady and we support all the stuff that she's done. She's brought us some incredible roles, and we are talking about Dee Wallace. She was in Cujo, guys. She was in Critters. She was on E.T. She was in all kinds of movies from our childhood. I know you guys are going to remember her. Y'all check this panel out.
You know, I've had a great career, guys. I've been blessed with so many great, iconic roles. I'm this close to my 300th film credit. So, you know, some big ones, some small ones, and a lot of in-between ones. I just always go for the part more than I go for what tier the film is at. I just like The Frighteners, one of my favorite parts of all time. Thank you. You know, very rarely do you get a part that allows you to start here and go all the way over here as the character, so that you get to use all different sides of who you are. You know, that's what really rocks my boat.
So now we know what it's like to be on Mount Rushmore.
I'm sure it's different for everybody. A lot of Mount Rushmorians don't like the notoriety, and then a lot of them don't like it and walk around with bodyguards anyway. I remember we used to go to the Hyatt Regency in Maui every year. I was married to Christopher Stone, who starred with me in The Howling and Cujo and had a very successful career on his own. We always just traveled, you know, like anybody else. And there were, I won't say who it was, but they walked in, and I had actually done an MOW with her husband. 2 limos pulled up, 3 bodyguards wherever they went, and she came up to me 3 days later and she said, "I don't understand, nobody is bothering you." And I said, "I didn't walk in with 2 limos and 3 bodyguards." You know, it's like, hello, look at me, I'm important. So we just, nobody ever F's with me, nobody. I've never had, the closest thing I've ever had, you guys, is when I was in Las Vegas and we were in a restaurant and we went to eat, and I went into the bathroom and this woman came in and pushed me up against the wall and she goes, "Oh my God, you're Dee Wallace, you pee too."
She is not a robot, people. This is a real living, breathing person with real feelings.
I am an AI replica.
No, please don't attack this lady in bathrooms. Holy smokes. Talk about creepy. I know one thing that you don't like, and you'll probably openly admit
It
this.
ain't chocolate.
It's those things that they gave the kids at the con that you blow in and it sounds like a pig dying.
I finally went over across the hall and went, "If you don't stop that, I'm going to kill you."
You talking about Miguel, right?
Yeah. He's so much fun. I'm telling you, every time it went off, my signature went. Don't like loud noise.
So some of y'all have custom signatures. I hope y'all went and got them certified because JSA ain't gonna do it later.
No, I just tore the picture up and said, "Go get another one." I'm not going to give him a signature like that.
That's custom.
I'm on Mount Rushmore.
You definitely are. Okay, guys, listen. It's question time, and obviously she's geared up, ready to answer what you guys got. So,
3 times a week.
So first of all, we just realized you're from Kansas. You're a Kansas native.
You bet, baby.
So are we. We're all three
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Wyandotte High School. Taught at Washington.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing. Well, I want to ask, what's it like being a small town girl, so to speak, and going into a career in the film and industry, and also your work in self-healing itself? What's that like? What's the bridge
you know
there?
about my healing work.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you. You know, I'm really, really, really happy that I had that upbringing I did. And it's so true, the saying, you can take the girl out of Kansas, but you ain't ever going to take Kansas out of the girl. You know, when E.T. and a bunch of my big pictures came out, the interviewers would say, well, how has this changed you? And my answer was, you know, it's changed my career, hasn't changed who I am. I'm always going to be Deanna Bowers from Kansas. I'm always going to believe in God. I'm always going to believe in self-creation and kindness and love. And that's what my mama taught me, and I ain't ever leaving it.
Amen.
You know, I have been very blessed to find this healing work. I help thousands of people every year. Doesn't go against any religion, but it does teach us that we are on this plane to create ourselves. We have free will, right? To choose whether we're going to be good or bad or live in hate or love. And I just want to say this because we've got an election coming up. Vote for love. If they don't stand for love, don't vote for it.
All right.
Hello. I just had a question.
Hi, baby.
We can't see you back there.
Yeah, I finally found her.
I just had a question about how it feels to go from such big picture movies and to know that a lot of people know who you are, but you don't know who they are, and how that feels to just know that a lot of people know your face and you don't know them.
Well, I could say that about everybody that's come up to my table today. And the way I look at it is that my purpose and my intention every day, this is how I start my day. My intention is to be love and send love to everybody and everything I meet, and to magnetize love back to me in every way. So if I have 5 minutes with you at my table, I want to look you in the eye and connect with your hearts and have that moment with you. Doesn't matter if I know your name. I connect with your energy, and that's what's important to me. Did I answer your question? Okay, good. Sometimes I just...
That was a good answer from the heart, I do believe as well.
Hello. My question is, how does it feel to be a surrogate mother to so many people around the world? Does it offend you, or do you like openly embrace it?
What do you think put me on Mount Rushmore?
That's right. A surrogate kid, that's who.
I look, my greatest role in this life and in this world is being a mom to my daughter. So if I can connect with other people through that love, I'm proud of it. And you can all come home with me. I have a big house.
You heard it here first, people.
My daughter, by the way, I'm expecting my first grandson in 2 weeks.
Oh, congratulations.
I had a serious conversation with her belly before I came. I got down there and I said, dude, this is Grandma. You're not coming until I get home on
That's right. You got to hold tight.
Well, I'm a graduate of Emporia State, which is in Kansas. So
I went to Emporia.
My question is how did you get into the business? Were you discovered? Did you try to become an actress? And how did you get into it?
I don't try to do anything. If you keep trying to do stuff, you'll be trying all your life. You got to commit. So it's a great story. It's actually a Tonight Show story. So I taught a year of high school, 9th and 10th grade, theater and English. And in our library, we got the New York Times. And in the New York Times, there was this article by Hal Prince, who was the biggest producer on Broadway at the time, saying he was looking for an unknown to star in A Little Night Music. I thought, if I don't get out of here now, I ain't ever going to get out of here. I can always come back and teach. So I said to my mom, I'm going to go to New York and be an actress. I love my mom. She's St. Maxine up there. She said, okay, Dee Dee, could you be an actress here? I said I could, Mom, but I'm going to New York. So she supported me all the way. So I wrote Hal Prince a letter. It was a very cheesy letter. It said something like, oh, Mr. Prince, I'm a newcomer from Kansas and I'm moving to New York. Just think of the publicity, a little girl from Kansas starring in your play. I sent him an even cheesier picture. I have to show you this picture. Is this dead? Come here, you have to hold it.
Okay, I got you.
That my brother's friend who worked on the school newspaper photography team took. Everybody, are you kidding me, Dee? He's going to laugh you out. You're going to New York. You don't know anybody. Nobody knows you. You don't have a chance. And you know what I did? Thank you very much for sharing, and I left. Because I know that everybody else's comments don't create your life. Your intention, your passion, your love, that's what creates your life. Do you know, 3 weeks later, I get a call from his secretary. Mr. Prince got your letter. He'd like to fly you to New York to audition. Being the vulnerable, honest girl I was raised to be, I said, oh, when does Mr. Prince need me? She gave me the date. I said, oh, tell him thank you so much. I already have a plane and I'm landing that morning. What time are the auditions? Like, he would have flown me first class. But I was raised to be an honest girl. Well, the auditions aren't till 5 o'clock. I said, oh, I get in at 1 p.m. It'll be fine. Just tell me where to go. So I landed in New York. I took every single thing I owned, put it in a taxi cab, and went, here, can you take it to this address, please? Because I have to go to Rockefeller Center and audition for Hal Prince. It all got there. Everybody goes, you put all your shit into a taxi and it got there? Yep. So I went down. I got down to the last 5 girls after the acting and the dancing, because I started out as a dancer. Then his assistant said, great, Mr. Prince would like to hear you sing now. I went, oh, I didn't know we had to sing. She said, well, dear, it is a musical. So Hal Prince goes, that's all right, honey. Just sing Happy Birthday. And the accompanist goes, what key, honey? And I went, somewhere in the middle. Obviously didn't get it. But I thought, I got down to the last 5 girls with all these top actresses in the Broadway stage. I'm going to be okay. 3 weeks later, I met a boy at an audition who thought I was pretty hot and invited me to a Halloween party. At the end of the party, 3 people came up to me and said, you know, we think we'd like you to come to the office. We think maybe we'd like to work with you. I said, oh, what do you do? Well, they were the biggest commercial agents in New York City. They signed me. 2 weeks later, they sent me to audition for a United Airlines commercial, and I did this. I was the friendship girl, and I made $20,000.
Wow.
Which is more money than my mother ever made in a year. There you go. Do you know from the time I went to New York to the time I started in ET was under 7 years? Yeah, unheard of. And no, I didn't. Oh, can I talk about this? Yeah. I didn't even have to audition for that little film. I had auditioned for a film previously, and the director of that film remembered me and just offered me the role. I'm telling you, if you want a more magical life, check out my healing work because it works. And I'm the best proof of it. Okay, question.
Awesome.
What kind of music do you like? Like old,
60s.
new? 60s? Awesome. There you go.
That was easy, wasn't it?
Easy peasy.
I mean,
I'm a fan
I'm a trained ballet dancer, so I love classical music. But if I want to pick myself up, man, and get in my happy place, it's 60s. My poor husband, he goes, oh my God, is that on again? You know, that's what I play in the car.
You got a grandbaby coming. You got to get with us.
That's right. I know all of it. I raised a daughter.
You ever heard of Jive Bunny and the Master Mixers?
That would be a no. Is it for kids?
No, it's for adults. It's almost like how they mix hip hop songs together, but it's older songs like 60s and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
He's called Jive Bunny and the Master Mixers. Yeah, you got it.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
Yes.
If it takes me too far away from the... I don't care, I'm old.
So your career has spanned so many generations and genres.
You think?
Right. Do you have a favorite personal horror film? Not that you've been in, but you've watched.
Oh, The Exorcist.
Ah, nice. Yeah, good one.
Love it. Scared the pee-wadding out of me. And I love Ellen Burstyn. I actually, when I got to Hollywood, everybody said, "You're a young Ellen Burstyn." I said, "Good enough for me, dude. Good enough for me."
In the industry, when you first start out, is there does age have a limit?
In the arts,
Yeah.
there's no limit to age in the arts.
Okay.
You look, there's people that have won the Academy Award in their 80s. We just keep creating. Some people say to me, "When are you going to retire?" I said, "Is that a word?" Actors don't retire. Artists don't retire. You only retire from 9 to 5 things that you don't really want to do all your life anyway.
Yeah, that's
You know?
facts.
Hello.
Oh, there you are. Hi.
First off, favorite movie of yours is 100% Cujo. Loved it.
Thank
With a
you.
passion. What was it like to get that call saying you're going to be making a live action of the King of Horrors book? And how was it working with Louis Teague as well?
Okay, let me.
He may have missed the briefing. I think he came up here late. We can't answer any specific movie questions.
Sorry
Let
about
me
that.
see if there's a way I can. Louis Teague is a very good friend of mine, still. It was an absolute joy working with him on a project that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Bar none. It was a real joy to get the call because it was the same producer of another very beloved horror film that I did. So he said, "Hey, you want to do this?" I said, "Are you crazy? How much do I have to pay you?" Right? I mean, you, as a female actress, you wait for tour de force roles like that. That's as close as I can come to answering your questions. Thanks. Everybody understands about the strike, right? Thank you for supporting all of us. It's so overdue, and we really all need to come forward to support it. Thank you.
I want to kind of do a follow-up sort of on that, and since you can talk about that, what's the best friends you've made in your career that you talk to, that like you call on the phone and you chit-chat with them?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Actually, Danielle and Scout that are here, I'm very good friends with.
Oh, that's awesome.
Scout's like my other daughter, ever since Halloween. Very mature daughter. And they're also good friends with, actually my daughter is going to be one of the bridesmaids in Scout's wedding next year. Yeah, very incestuous little group. I was very close friends with Dudley Moore before he passed. Very close friends with, close friends with Joe Dante. It's one of the funniest people alive. And I would like to say close friends with Rob Zombie. Yeah. Sweetest guy. I love Rob. I love Sherry. Every morning, Sherry brings Rob his health food shake and his vitamins.
Is there anyone that you haven't worked with that you still want to work with?
So many. Anthony Hopkins would be my final. Just kill me and put me out of it after I work with him. I so wish I could have worked with so many of the older actors. I'm really a film buff for the 40s, 50s movies. Jessica Lange, I think she's brilliant. And oh my God, it just went out in one head and out the other. Jessica Chastain. I think she's just mesmerizingly brilliant.
My fiance wants to know where you shop.
Where I shop? Where I like to shop, Amazon. And I take a lot of clothes home from set because I play a lot of character, not steal them. Jeez. And Soft Surroundings, do you know that place? On the line? Oh, your grandma? Who the f said that? This came from Soft Surroundings. I think it's pretty.
Yes, hey.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for doing the panel and for
Thank
being
you.
here. I just
you.
wanted to ask you, who inspired you growing up to want to act to begin with? I know you can't talk much about like your experiences, but has there been any talented actor that has empowered you to work alongside?
Katharine Hepburn, Joanne Woodward, just about anybody in that era. That's what I grew up watching, right? But I'll tell you, the biggest influence in my life was my mother. My mother was a secretary. Here come the tears every time I talk about my mom. She was also an amazing actress in community theater. And she would do what we called readings. We would probably call them monologues today, for the mayor and the music community in Kansas City. We were extremely poor, and so she would exchange her secretarial skills for what they called back then elocution lessons, so I learned monologues, and I learned how to emote, and I learned how to pronounce. And so I started modeling at the age of 4 to help my family pay the rent, and started performing. So I remember sitting in church every Easter. My mother would do a 30-minute monologue on the crucifixion. And people from 4 states would come down to see her. And I remember the moment I looked around and everybody was crying and weeping. And I thought, oh, I want to do this. I want to do what my mom does. That's really my biggest influence, that moment. Yeah. I should have had a picture of my mom on the table.
Hey, Dee, how are you?
I'm great.
Hey, so I have a story. So, Henry Thomas, are you still close to him? Do you guys still talk all the time?
Sure. Yeah.
So
we travel. I mean, not intimately together, but
sure.
We do a lot of cons together. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm from San Antonio, Texas,
uh-huh.
And I went to Lavernia, Texas, which is a high school right down the street from East Central, Texas. That's where Henry went to high school. I never knew that. And we're from the podunk country, partying out in the country and stuff like that. So one night we're at my house and we're having a big party in the country. And all of a sudden I see this guy across the lawn at my house, and he's chasing down some girl from my high school. And everybody's like, yeah, that's the guy from E.T. I'm like, what? He's in my yard. He's sitting right there. And I've met him before with Matt Damon, because Matt Damon used to go to San Antonio all the time as well. At Dave & Buster's, I met him a couple times. But I just thought it was a funny story that I had the guy from E.T.
chasing a girl through your front yard. Yeah.
Exactly right. So, but anyways.
Magic happens.
That's a small world. There you go. So thought I'd tell you this.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks.
Anyway,
I'll pass that on when I see him.
Imagine what kind of success you would have had if you'd have had one of them Ring cameras at that time.
1993, that's a long time ago.
Yep.
Yeah, thank God.
We know that you did a part of your, job with a certain animal, but what kind of animals do you have in your real life?
Oh, I have a beautiful Kelpie dog, which is one of the sheep herding family. Freedom is her name.
Oh.
It was named Marguerite. When I found her at the pound, I went, who the hell names a dog Marguerite? So I looked at her and I said, Freedom, I'm giving you your freedom. Now look, this was after 3 months of looking for her, because I believe a dog picks you. So I would go from shelter to shelter, back to these 3 shelters, and they said, Dee, we've shown you German Shepherds and Irish Setters. I said, yeah, but I have not been chosen. So she says, well, they brought in this little female. She's in quarantine because she has kennel cough, and she just had puppies, so her titties are down to the floor, and they were. I said, well, let me go look at her. So we walk in, and our eyes met, and she reached her paw out. And I said, well, let her out. You got to stand up. She comes over to me, and she goes. I said, don't even put her back in the cage. The woman looked at me and went, really, this one? I said, yeah, I've been chosen. She has been my perfect soulmate, that dog.
That's awesome. I'll share one, but it's actually 2, but I'll do them real fast. So I have a dog named Tony Montana, and he's a bulldog, and he was extremely abused. He didn't have any ears. They had cut him all the way. Yep. and we didn't think he was going to make it through the night. When the animal catcher called me and asked me if I wanted to try to help him, and I said, yeah, bring him to me.
I love you.
He's been with me for 7 years, and he is awesome with kids. He is awesome with every other animal you put him around. You could not ask for a better representation. Yeah. And another one, I have a female dog named Chevy, and I picked her mama and all the litter mates, because somebody dumped the mama and the puppies off on the side of the road somewhere. So I went and picked them up, and I took them to the shelter. And it was like 7 months later, I get asked to go pick up some dog food for him. So I take my truck, I go pick up like a whole bed full of dog food and take it back to him. And I asked the lady at the shelter about the mama dog and the puppies, and she said, oh yeah, the mama dog went to a family and she rides around on a four-wheeler and a tractor with air conditioner, and all the puppies got adopted. And I said, well, who got the one that looked like the little German Shepherd? Because there was one puppy that looked like it didn't even belong to the litter. It looked like almost like a Belgian Malinois puppy. I mean, it looked like a cop dog. And she said, I don't remember that when I showed her a picture. And she said, oh, that one is still here. And I was like, why?
Saved for you.
I said, why'd you say it like that? And she said, she's psycho. She won't let people go in there. She's not going to be adopted. She's actually on our list to be one of the next to be put down. I said, oh, no. Take me to the dog right now. She says, you know what happens if you get bit? I was like, I know, open the gate. So she opens the gate, I go in there, and I like sit down like on the water bucket, you know. And that's what she did to me. She come and put her head in between my legs. And I looked at that lady at the animal shelter. I said, you get her ass out this pen right now. Get her in my truck. She's coming home with me.
Yep. Who does that? Who does that? Leaves a poor animal to the side of the road. There's nothing in me that can understand that.
There's a special place for people like that.
Yeah, and I can tell them where to go.
That's right. Me too.
Don't understand that.
Any more questions for the lovely Dee?
All right, guys, it's been great. Come see me at the table.
Y'all give her a round of applause. Man, I really hope you guys enjoyed that panel. It was another one of my favorites. I keep saying that over and over again, but it seems like the more we do it, the better they get, and the more fun the audience has when they come and they participate. So yeah, definitely come check us out at one of these. We just did GeekCon when you see this, so the panels will be coming out with that as you are seeing this. If you didn't check those lives out, definitely go check those out. Also, September 30th through October 1st, we will be at Cowtown Comic-Con, so if you are in that area at all, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, come check us out. We'll be doing the panels there and interviewing people. Don't forget about the Wednesday episode. That's your chance to win one-of-a-kind art and a loot box every single week. Thursday night is the live auctions on the Facebook page, Gabe's Cave Comics Cards Collectibles, and DP's Food Truck Park is getting ready to open. So you guys, there's a lot to look forward to here at the Cave. And before we jump off, let's take a minute to thank our sponsor, RPGhiring.com, because none of these trips would be possible without you guys. Thank you, RPGhiring.com. We know you are building people, changing lives. So if y'all are in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri, or Kansas, and you are looking for a new career, definitely check out RPGhiring.com. They are doing things. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. Till next time, Uncle Nasty, we out.